Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to City of Confidence TV with a very special guest, Julia Spotswood, the creator of Jetset Driver. Hello, Julia. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's super exciting. Finally, we get to meet after 7 years.
Yes. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I remember when I met you 7 years ago at the Italian Embassy Christmas party. You were telling me, "Yeah, I'm opening my first salon," right?
Yeah, so I had just opened it maybe a month, 2 months.
Oh my God.
And yeah, it was a good opportunity to promote my business to anybody that was going to listen.
Of course, of course. So for those who don't know who Julia is, maybe perhaps you can introduce yourself?
My name is Julia Spotswood. I'm actually half Japanese. I was born in Japan. My family's from Kamakura.
Yeah?
And we lived here till I was 7. Then we moved to the United States. And
where your other part is from U.S.
Yes, my father's American, so we lived in San Francisco, and I went to University of Arizona, and after I graduated, I lived in LA, in New York, and I was in finance. And I was working for a consulting company in New York. At that time, I really didn't speak Japanese. I mean, it was really konnichiwa, like the very basic. And somehow rumor came around that there's a half Japanese American girl who speaks Japanese. And they're like, "Hey, we need someone to go to Tokyo. Go tomorrow." Tomorrow? And I said, no, I need like a couple days. And they said, "Okay, you speak Japanese, right?" And I was, well, yes, but not really. But they're like, "Just go anyways." And my journey in Japan came 15 years ago from New York, not really speaking Japanese, but...
And you came here in the finance world?
Yeah, finance world and consulting.
Wow.
And I worked for that firm for 7 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, here in Tokyo.
And what brought you to create this Jetset Driver? It's crazy change.
Yeah, it's a huge change. As I sort of mentioned before, I'm not in the beauty world, but in finance we work really late. You know, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. We have calls from like 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. So when you get home in the middle of the night, the last thing you want to do is your hair. You know, you just want to go to bed. But you don't want to wake up an hour early either to do your hair. So, you know, every day you have kind of this war inside of you. Do I go beauty or rest? And usually rest would work, because I wanted to sleep. And you put your hair in a ponytail and you go to work, and no matter how nice clothes you wear or your handbag, when you go to the bathroom, you look in the mirror, you know your hair isn't nice. But you don't want to spend an hour and a half at a hair salon spending, you know, $60 or 5,000 yen, 6,000 yen. So I always thought, if there is a place where I can quickly go, just go in, maybe spend 3,000-4,000 yen, get my hair done, I think a lot of women would go. So that's kind of where that idea started. And I went to New York for a business trip. And that's when the dry bar was huge. And everyone's saying, "You've got to go. This is going to change your life." And when I went there, I said, "Oh my God. Where has this concept been my whole entire life?" And I couldn't get it out of my head. I always knew this was something I wanted to do.
So were you going every day in New York?
You don't have, in America, we don't wash our hair every day. We wash our hair maybe 3 times a week.
Okay.
Because they do, when a professional washes your hair, it's so good that actually every day is too much. And the blow dry in America is really good. So it lasts a day or two, no problem. Yeah, a really good one will last like 5 days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's like, I didn't even know that. That's crazy. Wow.
Yes. So, you know, I was working in finance, and we would talk to people in my, you know, team, and we're all like, all the girls all have the same issue, you know, doing our hair, but we want to sleep. And then they wanted me to go back to New York. I didn't want to go because I'm half Japanese, and being able to live here and see my grandmother and my aunt, and you know, for 29 years I really didn't get a chance to see them so much. So I quit my job, and somehow this idea could not leave my brain. And
So you created one.
I thought about it. I did a business plan. Then I got scared. So I put it off to the side. But for 10 months, I kept thinking about that business. Okay, I should do it because I want this business. I don't want someone else to take this idea because I'm a customer of whatever, this blow dry bar. So then one day I was having dinner with my husband and I just said, okay, guess what? I'm going to start my own business. What?
Where is he from, your husband?
He's actually Japanese, but from 13 to 36, he lived in Spain and England, so he speaks fluent English, and he's very kind of British. So, yeah, I said, remember that blow dry bar business I was thinking about? He's like, yeah, I'm going to do it. And he's like, okay. That was kind of the end of it.
That's cool.
Yeah. Wow. That was the journey.
Wow. But you know, in Japan, very often when you want to start a business, which is already like a hard step to mention it, you know, you may be thinking about it, but saying it out loud is like a whole another thing. I mean, like, what was, you know, you came from a finance background, so I believe that, you know, having a business plan also kind of helped you envision what type of business you were going to do. But like from there to actually open one salon, like did you end up doing it with your own funding, or did you end up like, how did you end up developing? Because when we met, it was like first salon, and then now you have 4?
Yes. Well, definitely a business plan is important because you know your risks. If all else fails, this is what I'm going to lose potentially. But yeah, I had spoken to a mentor who happened to be one of the first kind of venture capitalists in San Francisco. He kind of started this movement, whatever, 60 or 30 years ago. And he was always very supportive of me. So he was in Tokyo. I sort of said, listen, I have this business idea. And he's like, well, I'm not going to invest. And I said, no, I just want you to hear, look at my business plan. And he started asking me lots of questions. Then during dinner, he's like, well, how much do you need? And like this. And then he was like, after dinner, all right, I'll put in $100,000. And I almost fell off my chair. I literally was not expecting him to put in any money. And a couple days later, he calls me from San Francisco, and he's asking me more questions. And he's like, well, what about this, that? And I was like, all right, I'll put $50,000 more.
Wow.
And then my husband was joking, hey, if you keep stringing him along, he might pay for everything. But so I had that, and then there was a finance man here in Tokyo, American, no, not American, German. And I pitched him Jetset, and he was like, yeah, I'd like to put some money into it as like kind of angel investor. So between those two and my money and my husband's money, we started our first blow dry bar.
That's awesome. So how did it like, what was the reaction of it when it got created? Because your first one was in Hiro, right?
Well, a lot of the expats kind of understood the concept. The Japanese was really difficult. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to lie. There were days where we had nobody coming in. And on the weekends in Hiro, you would see people walking outside. But you're wondering, why don't you come inside? Shampoo, blow dry, what's wrong with that? And I mean, it was a struggle for the first 6 months. I mean, there's only so much practicing you can do with your staff before. So I would try to introduce American culture. So I would show them American TV shows, because that's how dead we were. You know, I mean, that's just really sad. And you're trying to think of how to pull Japanese people. And they kept asking me, when do I use your salon? How do we use this concept of blow dry bar? And I just thought it was so weird. Like, it's just shampoo and blow dry. Why are we overthinking this? You just come because you don't want to wash your hair today. But that just did not seem to click. And I never wanted to do one store. I knew I wanted to do like 50 stores or 100 stores. So if I cannot get Japanese people to believe in this concept, well, we don't have a business.
Yeah, of course.
So I started thinking about Japanese people's movements, and I realized they like to they like this kayoi hodai, kind of all you can buy or membership. So I said to my team, let's try. Okay. I mean, you start calculating. It freaks you out. What if they come every day and I'm only going to charge $100? We're losing money, but okay, we got to try. So we did a collaboration with this Japanese lady who has a lot of influence in the kind of hero, Minatoku. And we did, okay, 10,000 yen, $100, come as many times as you want membership. And in 2 hours, we had like 15, 20 people come and sign up. They'd never even tried our service. They didn't even know. It's just that hurdle was released. Now they can come whenever they want.
And it's like a gym membership.
And that changed our business. And overnight, it changed our business. And now, you know, before it was all expats, and now 99% of our customers are Japanese.
I know, I remember, because when we met, you told me, you know, most of the people that would come, a lot of foreigners, and then you wanted to, you know, incorporate more Japanese customers. And I was truly wondering, like, how did it change so much? Because you also changed, you know, the branding also. And now, so basically, you maintain this concept, like they basically pay 10,000 yen.
No, we increased the price. Some of, you know, I tried to keep it for as long as possible, but, you know, as you build a business, you have to start changing and adapting to the environment. So we increased the price, but it's still a good deal.
So what is the current price?
So if you want to curl your hair and everything, shampoo, blow dry, curling your hair, 45 minutes, it's 32,000 yen. But most of our clients come 3 to 4 times a week. So that's, you know, it's not that much per time. But
that's like the 32,000 is for all you can come?
All you can come. Wow. And then here we have, you know, different kind of memberships, but this one, shampoo, blow dry, only 25,300 yen. And those clients also come about 3 times a week. So it's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, of course.
And they don't wash their hair at home anymore.
Wow.
So in between, you don't have to worry about your hair. So we're basically, the concept of Jetset is, it's not just good, beautiful hair and a healthy scalp, but it's getting your time back. You know, we're all very busy now. Spending an hour every day doing your hair, maybe not turning out the way you like it. So if you leave your hair to us, you'll have, you know, 4 hours of your time back to do something, spend time with your family or whatever.
But that would mean that the location you also choose must be very specific into places that are maybe like living areas?
Living or business areas, or places like Omotesando where there's a lot of foot traffic.
So where are your 4 salons now?
So we have Azabujuban. We moved from Hiro, that was our second store. Then we opened a store in Ginza, which we moved to Hibiya, Omotesando, and then Hibiya Midtown. This is our recent one. We opened in August.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, that was...
Because it was also challenging to open in August, right?
Yeah, I mean, who knew we would still be in this COVID
of course.
Environment? It was tricky, crazy, but we had no choice.
So how did you overcome this crisis? Because everyone, you know, all the salons around the world, and especially in Japan, also are aware, you know, the hair set salons, they as we know in Japan, a lot of, you know, we see a lot of documentaries with all the fancy hair of ladies that they get curled, but most of the time it's when they work at night, or, you know, to hair set, or like for a party or things like that. But there's no more events to go to. There's, you know, the working environment at night also doesn't really happen. So you really targeted more like what kind of customers?
So from the beginning, our customers, it's more of a lifestyle. You know, I want, you know, people like myself, or, you know, busy moms who just don't have time to do your hair, but you still want to look pretty. So it's really a lifestyle. So we weren't dependent on the nighttime or pre-event, you know, updos. I mean, we have clients like that, but we were never dependent on it. So that was one of our best, you know, decisions, I think, early on, is just really focus on one communication, which is lifestyle. And during COVID, luckily we have memberships. So when you start coming 3 times a week for years, you know, a lot of our customers say Jetset is my salon. It's my home.
Of course.
And they're really supportive, so they don't want us to close. So they would keep coming all the time. And same with our ticket holders. And, you know, and to be honest, it's not just our clients, but my staff worked so hard. You know, I mean, they're all very young people, but, you know, we were determined to get over this and get through this. And, you know, I just said to them, look, we cannot go out on the street and pull customers in.
Of course.
But what we can do is the customers that do come in, we provide the best service. You know, we hope they leave with a smile and get them to come back. And there's nothing else we can do. You know, we just have to kind of day at a time and hope they enjoyed our service and they come back. And
so, like, in number-wise, like, did you drop a lot during COVID? Yeah.
For sure, at least half.
Wow.
Because during the lockdown, Roppongi Hills and our Ginza store, the building closed.
Oh my God.
So Mori building closed their building. So we were from 4 to 2 already there. We lost 2, you know, temporarily 2 of our stores. And then I had 2 left. But Omotesando, no one's traveling to Omotesando. No one's going out. So that was pretty much used as a training center for our staff. And then we're down to Juban. And luckily, Azabu Juban has a lot of clients who live nearby. And those clients were so supportive of us. You know, they would come and just start, you know, doing treatments or whatever, or massages. But it was not easy.
Yeah.
You know.
So talking about the services that you actually provide, so let's just see maybe one more time onto the online. What kind of services do you provide?
So our core concept is shampoo, blow dry.
Okay.
When you go to a regular hair salon, it takes about an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And when I first started Hero, it was 45 minutes.
Yeah.
But then I'm kind of person that even 45 minutes seems
too
long.
Yeah.
And I said, why don't we do 30 minutes shampoo, blow dry?
Yeah.
My staff at first were totally against it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was kind of a good
hassle. Yeah.
And I said, if you're a really good stylist, in 30 minutes, you can do it.
Of course.
And that's where your true skill set's going to shine. And when we started that in Azabu Juban, it really took off because now 30 minutes, you don't need to put it in your schedule. But then other things I realized is like bang trimming. You don't want to go to hair salon for a bang trim. We do T-zone color. So especially for Japanese ladies or dark hair, when you start getting gray around your face and your part, a lot of them would go to the hair salon and do their whole head. That's not good for your scalp, and it takes a long time. So we do like a retouch up. It's plus 20 minutes. So we do a lot of things that you don't want to go to the hair salon for,
all the way,
like hair treatments, massage shampoo. That's kind of that's our core concept. We don't cut color, we don't cut hair, we don't do full color, but we'll do everything else.
Okay, nice. And so how did you, so the original basically, I mean, talking about, you know, the secret to succeed a business is you started with one thing.
Yeah.
Which was
shampoo, blow dry.
Shampoo, blow dry. And then you developed bit by bit, depending on the needs of customers that they had. Basically,
all of our services, additional services, are our customers. They told us they wanted these services.
Why don't you do it?
And I'm the kind of person, sure, let's try.
Of course.
If it doesn't work, we don't do it anymore. So T-zone color, we do 10-minute massages, but then one of our customers was like, 10 minutes is too long. Can you do 5? Okay, 5 minutes, let's try it. You know, we kind of adapt to the voices of our customers.
And I've noticed that all your staff are pretty young.
Yeah, I would say their average age is around 27.
Yeah, I think, you know, I mean, I don't know, as a outside perspective, also working with different beauty professionals, it feels like to be able to do it 30 minutes, you have to be fast.
Yes. that's a lot of training.
Right?
Yes.
So there's so basically the professionals, the one that have been here for a while, are basically training the newcomers, kind of
Yes,
thing?
yes. So I also have veteran staff who are in their 40s, late 30s to 40s. Our shampoo is 12 minutes, and that includes a 1-minute shiatsu massage, and then the blow dry is 18.
How do they measure time? It's just keep training?
Yeah, I'm very strict. If you're even 2 minutes over, you don't pass. Because 2 minutes for a client,
of course,
can mean they're going to be delayed to their meeting or appointment. So it's just maybe more training and memorizing your movements.
But that wasn't your original concept.
No, it was 45. So cutting 15 minutes off was glad I'm still alive, because my staff were really mad at me.
How do they feel about it, your team now?
They're happy, because actually that's the appeal point, seems like, for us, more than curling the hair. We say curling your hair is if you have something really important to keep your hair healthy, blow dry, and it'll still look good, you know, still look really nice. So I think they're proud of themselves, because not many people can do a 30-minute. Even in the U.S., they don't do 30 minutes. It's 45 minutes. So Japanese hairstylists are great.
Fantastic. Awesome. So the concept of, at the end, you know, we discovered like different plans. But if you are asked, what is exactly the concept of your boutique in like a summarized way, what would you say it is?
Well, shampoo, blow dry, but like I said before, we're a lifestyle. You know, I'm really here to try to help busy men and women, because men are starting to come.
So you also do men?
Yes.
Wow, nice.
So we're kind of a company where we're saying, outsource your hair to us, your scalp and your hair. We will take care of that, and you have one less thing to worry about. That's really where I think Jetset core concept is.
Okay. Awesome. So now, so you started off basically, most of your people, it goes from what kind of age range? From
33 to 60, 65.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a wide range.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so men, women, both?
Yes, we have a lot of, it's 99% women, but we're trying to get more men. And we do a massage shampoo. So 15 minutes massage shampoo, 10-minute shoulder massage, and then, you know, men don't really blow dry, so 5 minutes blow dry, and it seems to be getting popular. We're getting more and more men coming in, because there's not a place really to do for men to go for mini relaxation. It has to be like an hour or longer. So I feel there's a market for this, and so we're trying to push more men to come to our store.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So what do you specifically do there? Are you there, or?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm there probably more than they want me to be there. So I go to the stores. Before, when we first started, because I was trying to cut costs, you know, I would be the uketsuke, the receptionist.
Yeah.
So I would work 7 days a week from morning to close, and, you know, serve drinks and take appointments. And as we started to grow and have more stores, I put in receptionists. So I go around and I talk to our clients and talk to our staff to hear what's going on. And then I do a lot of the finance side and the management side, the non-beautiful side to the business.
So currently you work on, you have a one-time trial? Or you
Yes.
You also have one-time trial. So you have the regular packages that people can basically come kayoi hodai, and then the visitor.
Yeah, so we have tickets, 3, 5, and 10. Then we have just regular, you know, like if you do have a party and you want to get an updo, or you want to pamper yourself today. I don't, you know, sometimes you wake up in the morning and you just don't want to do your hair. So those people are always welcome. So we have those 3 options.
And whatever it is, it's always 30 minutes.
It starts from 30. Then if you want to curl your hair, it's 45. Or if you want to add a massage, then you can pick how long you want to do it for, treatment.
Awesome.
But we try to keep it within an hour.
Nice. Fantastic. Yeah, it's definitely time efficient. Awesome. And do you also sell product in there apart from services?
So, you know, I will start selling more products, but you know, for me, the most important is to get people to understand our concept. It's very new to Japan. And if I start doing too many things, I think I lose their attention. So we did create Jetset shampoo with a really well-known Japanese scalp expert. It's amino-based shampoo. It's really, really good. But during COVID, we sold out. Not because of COVID, but we've had this shampoo for a while. And I didn't want to make more product because we didn't know how long it was going to last, and you have to, you know, make 1,000 bottles, and so we're now going to restart doing our Jetset shampoo because it was a huge hit. I mean, even babies can use this shampoo and it doesn't hurt their eyes. There's no harmful chemicals, and men like it too. So, you know, our concept of the shampoo is, I notice when you go to people's house with children and husbands, everybody's got their own shampoo, right? And it's just bottles everywhere. So this one is one bottle can be used by everybody. And
how's the smell?
It smells like lime, basil, orange. It's very refreshing because Jetset concept is to be refreshed. So men tend to like that smell too.
That's good.
It's very neutral. And I think it helps the busy housewife or working mother who's not buying shampoo all the time for somebody. And it looks clean in the bathroom to have one instead of 6 or 10. I mean, it's kind of shocking.
Awesome. And what's the pricing for the shampoo?
2,800 yen.
Nice. That's also reasonable price.
You know, we try to keep it reasonable.
For a bottle of
285.
Nice. Yeah. That's really nice. So it allows you also to kind of maintain the same spirit of like repeating.
Yes.
Basically.
Yeah.
Awesome. And so maybe before we start talking about entrepreneurship and mindset, we will have a quick trailer for you to discover some more the mindset of Julia. And we're back with a surprise time. So at the end of this show, for all the people who subscribed and also listened through the interview, we will be asking you, or Julia will be asking you a question. And if you answer right, we will have 3 lucky winners who will win a
free shampoo and blow dry.
Nice for you to try. Obviously in Tokyo.
Yes, any of our stores. You can go to any one of our stores.
Any of their stores. So make sure to listen and to try to get your gift at the end of the show. So to continue our show, a very unique questions also for those who are watching maybe from overseas and who would love to basically bring maybe a foreign idea to Japan, that they just like you, kind of been thinking of with this work in Japan. I would love to go, but I don't know exactly what to do. So let's just say they have an idea, but they want to, bring it to Japan. How difficult is it as a foreigner to open a business in Japan?
It's definitely not easy. And I think for me, the paperwork part of getting, a kabushiki gaisha, that's quite standard. That's not the hurdle. I think it's more after that, like trying to get someone to rent their property to a foreigner. There's some hurdles, right? I mean, I understand from their side, we can leave tomorrow if we wanted to.
Absolutely.
So trying to get them to trust you, that you're going to stick around. There is this guarantor, which I didn't know about this. In the US, you pay maybe 3 months, and that's kind of your guarantee. In Japan, they wanted a personal guarantor. On top of 10 months of your rent. So that's already a big chunk of money that you put up front. Plus they wanted someone to personally guarantee. Okay, when you're a foreigner, I don't know, I don't really like asking people to do that. And my hero location was difficult because they wanted a family member.
Really?
Yes. And my grandmother and my aunt lived here, but they're both retired.
Yeah.
So they were not allowed to be a guarantor.
Yep.
Then I had my husband. But the landlord said, your husband cannot be guarantor. I'm like, why? You said family member.
Yeah.
He's not blood.
Oh my God.
So these are these things that no one ever tells you about.
Yeah.
And this guarantor hurdle, I think everybody should really investigate if you're trying to rent a property.
Yeah.
It's really frustrating and it's hard to overcome,
And you feel it's really unfair.
it's
too.
totally unfair.
Yeah.
I don't even understand that. It's not only to us, but the person who has to
Yeah.
put their honko or
Yeah.
their signature
You feel
down.
so guilty,
Yeah,
right?
and even just trying to open up a corporate bank account, I got rejected by every bank. And it's just here I finally signed the lease. You think you had one thing down, then we're doing construction, and I need to open a bank account so I can get a telephone line and gas, but you can't open a bank account. They're saying, show us a bill that you've paid. Okay, I'm trying to pay a bill, which is why I'm here. And then they would say it would take 6 months to open up a bank account. And these are things no one really tells you about. So, it was very much eye-opening and very frustrating
And
challenge.
how did you overcome that?
Well, luckily, I had a friend who owns a very prestigious publishing company in Japan, and I had no choice. I mean, I needed a bank account. So I called him and I said, can you help me?
Yeah.
And so he picked up the phone, and I don't know, 15 minutes later, he's like, come to my office now. This bank is going to come over, open your bank account. And that was just, to me, so shocking.
It's like the most unfair thing.
I know. If he never introduced me, I would probably have to wait 6 months, and I don't know what I would have done.
This is what truly shows you how much the concept of en, like the connection in Japan, is so important. And I think this is one of I believe the biggest difference, and so also the reason why we created this circle of COC, because I think specifically in Japan, if you don't have the right people to introduce to you to the next step, it's extremely difficult.
It's
right?
very difficult. I would really suggest anybody, it looks like a very modern country from the outside, and in many ways it really is. But there are some things that have not changed for probably 50, 60 years. And those are the areas that are impact entrepreneurs or business owners. So really investigate, and I know we all want to think.
But you didn't give up?
No, I mean, I could. I'm very stubborn. I'm going to beat the system somehow. That's kind of my...
It must be even more frustrating because you're half Japanese.
Yes.
Blood-wise, so it's even more frustrating, no?
That didn't seem to matter. Like I was born in Kamakura, down this just 50 minutes from here. They could care less.
It's very, very hard to bend the system in Japan.
It is.
As long as you don't give up, at one point maybe.
You have to know people.
Yeah.
And be willing to kind of ask for help. You'll be surprised when you ask, they'll help you. But unless you ask, you're probably not going to get very far.
Yeah, absolutely. So, while building this Jetset bar, which went very successfully from 1 store to 4 store now, did you have people telling you would fail?
Oh, yeah. All the time.
And how did you react to that?
If people tell me I'm going to fail, I'm stubborn. It's more, I'm going to prove to you that I'm going to make it work, even if I have to die doing it at the same time. But even now, I'm sure most people are like, 4 stores, she's lucky, or I'm sure in time. I mean, there's shampoo blow dry in Japan, this brand new concept. I would think most people think I'm crazy.
I have a very curious also question. I mean, curious. So, perhaps a lot of you may not know, but in Japan, a woman entrepreneur is still quite a hurdle, even mindset-wise. At least for there's a lot of the people. It's an aging country, so a lot of men, especially in the society, seeing especially blonde, blonde woman entrepreneur, it just does not click. No. I've had this problem myself for a number of years since I built the business. But how was it for you?
I think for me, I sort of put that aside. I don't really look at myself as a female blonde girl in Japan. So I think if you can sort of push that aside and really kind of focus on what you have to do, then I think that insecurity or, oh my gosh, what is this person going to think about me when I walk into a meeting? I never think about that. Just, this is Julia.
This is me.
This is me. Don't look at my this. Listen to what I have to say is really what I do, or else.
Especially in business, most of the time in Japan you face a lot of men.
Yes.
And they kind of have tendency in Japan of underestimate what you can do in general, right? It's gradually changing, thankfully. But every time, you want to go to a bigger corporate or like investment or even banking things, I mean, how did you react to that?
Well, the good news is I speak some Japanese, okay? And I think if I came in and not speaking any Japanese, I think the image and that, okay, she can't really speak Japanese, I think that would play a big part of it. But I think, you and I, we speak pretty good Japanese. And there's a sense of relief on the other side. Okay, this girl can speak. Oh, okay, she looks like this, but she speaks Japanese. So at that point, that one hurdle kind of goes down. And then you just have to, appeal to the business and your concept and your message. But I think I've been really lucky. A lot of people have been very supportive.
But you worked hard too.
Yeah, it's not easy. You can't just walk into a room and think it's going to be smooth sailing. You have to overcome. Even they may not show. Oh gosh, she's blonde and tall and what's going on. If you can just sort of keep that out of your mind and just try to appeal to get them to focus on you, I think it makes a big difference.
So, I mean, the most important question, I must say, of this show is, do you feel confident?
Yes, I guess.
Thank you, Julia.
I mean, you have to have confidence in order to have your own business. And if you don't have it, then you cannot get through all these obstacles. And so yes.
You do?
Yeah.
Great conclusion.
That'd be horrible if I said no.
So now, like, if our viewers have a dream, but they don't really know how to start, I mean, whether it's in Japan, whether it's in their own country, if they don't really know, I mean, they have this idea, just like, you had this, like, oh my God, like, this is so refreshing, it may be from going from one area to another, just like from you went from finance to beauty, right? Without really being expected, but I guess it was a great challenge. So how and what would you advise them in order to succeed, like even as a first step?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, I had this idea, but I got scared. I did a business plan and I started looking at the risks and it scared me and I put it away. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs, who have an idea, I think a lot of us do get scared. And it's that push that gets you from being scared to, okay, you know what, let's do it.
Yeah.
I think that's one big hurdle that you have to overcome. And if you do that, then you start to realize you really believe in your concept. And I think that's really important because if you don't really believe in it, you're not going to do it.
Yeah.
So if you can get to that point where, all right, I'm done with being scared, I'm going to do it. Even if I fail, I'm going to be okay with it. And I think that's another thing is you have to be okay if you fail. Because I think if you look at all the businesses out there, most of them have failed.
Of course.
Right? So it's being okay with the fact, no one wants to fail. But you have to be okay with the fact that you fail. So I think in the beginning, you really need to know about yourself. When the times are tough. Am I going to give up? Or I'm going to find a way? And I think that's the difference. I mean, I used to watch, like, in the middle of the night, I would wake up freaking out. You know, I have one store, we have no customers. And then, you know, I would watch, like, Steve Jobs, you know, Bill Gates. You know, on the outside, they all look like they have this, you know, they're all billionaires and life is great. But they had to go through some really, really, really tough times.
Yeah.
And I would watch their YouTube clips over and over and over and over again. And to give me some inspiration, because being an entrepreneur is very lonely.
I know.
You cannot tell people, so many people, you know, the bad times and the struggle and the worry. And so I guess for any potential new entrepreneur, really believe in yourself, believe in your concept, and know the times are going to be tough. There are going to be really tough times where you just don't want to wake up in the morning.
But then why would they do entrepreneurs then?
Yeah, then that's why you have to do it. But you know, so you don't know about these kind of days where, you know, when COVID started, and I was worried. I had opened 3 stores right before COVID. You know, I did not want to get out of bed some days, but you force yourself to go. But you don't hear about these deep, dark, blue days. You know, you just see the smiling face and, how's business? Oh, okay. And you know, inside you're like, God, I hope we make it. So believe in your concept. If you can get over the hurdle of actually pulling the trigger, that is one big hurdle that you've overcome. And I think that's really good. Awesome.
Great, great, great advice. And so believing, if they do believe in the concept, but they need this little sort of push, like what practical advice could you give them?
Well, for me, I'm very stubborn. So the push for me is to want to prove to people who doubt me, or I guess it's just even just for my own confidence or my own personal appeal, to just keep going. You know, I would kind of talk to myself. I'm not gonna lie. I would kind of build confidence within myself to say, okay, today's gonna be a good day. You know, if we have 2 customers, I'm happy. Or, you know, it's just kind of pep talking to myself, because no one else is gonna do it. And try not to go into the dark side, because I think, you know, we worry, and if you start kind of pulling towards the negative, so I try to stay as positive as I can, because then that leads to better things. If you go down that road, it can be miserable. So that's kind of what I...
Awesome. So on the contrary, what shouldn't they do?
Be overly confident.
That's a good point.
That's also not good.
In Japan, 自信過剰ね. So why? Why not?
Because I think you start to lose focus. I think you stop seeing the risks. I think being an entrepreneur, being worried is really important, because it keeps you on your toes. And I think if you're stopped worrying, then your business cannot get better. You know, we're always trying to be better. I'm always trying to be better. And if you're overly confident, I think you start to lose sight of the track that you should be on.
Good point. So what makes you scared in life?
Personally or professionally?
Anything.
Well, you know, as an entrepreneur, my business is my life. So, you know, I think, you know, especially now during COVID, you know, you're doing everything you can to keep your business alive. So then you tend to start to not focus on your personal life. And I think that's not good. You know, I should be seeing my husband every day. I don't, you know, and it's the personal life factor. There's fear that you're not taking care of your family the way you should. And professionally, you know, my staff and my customers are my world. And I always want my staff to be happy. So making sure they're happy every day, and making sure our customers who've been supporting us still believe in us and they're happy when they leave. I'm scared to lose that because without my staff, I have no business.
Of course.
Without my husband, I don't have a support system.
Yeah.
You know, so there's fear of both sides of, you know, family is important. And
So the balance of it. So, so would you, first of all, most importantly, would you call this Jetset Dry Bar your dream?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes. Well, it'll be my dream when I make it bigger. We're going towards my dream.
But you're happy with where you are?
Yes. I mean, I think I'm really lucky. I think when you have staff, and one thing, I didn't realize this, you know, you work in corporate America, you have a team, but we're all getting paid. So it's kind of even. When you now have a staff and you're employing 40, 50, however many people, even just 5, you know, their happiness becomes super, super important.
Yeah.
And they are the core of our business. So for me, having the same employees since I started Hero and they're still here, you know, we're getting towards our dream.
Yeah.
And they're fulfilling my dream.
Yeah.
You know, this is not their dream. This is my dream. And so together I say, let's make 50 stores, 100 stores. And we're getting there.
Fantastic. So through your life or through your career, it's a really nice picture. I love the energy as well. What are you the most proud of?
Well, I'm proud of the fact that I kind of, from getting scared to starting my first store, and kind of going through the hurdles of getting a bank account and these things. I'm glad I overcame my fear to do it, because if I didn't, someone else might be doing this business. So I'm proud of the fact that I did that. Number 2, you know, I have customers and clients from Hero who have been supporting us, and that makes me really proud to know that we're doing a good job. You know, as an owner, my staff are happy, and as a service, our clients continue to come. And it's not easy to have a business for 7 years and have the same people working for you and the same customers coming back, so I'm really proud of that. And, you know, I raised $3.5 million 2 years ago for Jetset. We're going to do another round of fundraising. People seem to be responsive. So, you know, I'm proud of the fact that I didn't give up. Because there are many days where it was really, really tough. And you really want to give up. I'm not joking. There are days where I'm just like, okay, I cannot do this anymore. How do I get us through this? But, you know, you just somehow, you keep pulling through. And I'm glad during this COVID, I didn't give up. We didn't give up, I guess. So I'm really happy about that. Because once we can get through COVID, I said we can get through anything. Anything can come our way, and I think we'll be like, okay, bring it on.
I agree. Definitely a hard step, especially for beauty areas, I think.
It is.
Because that wasn't the primary focus.
No, and then when they're telling people to stay home.
Yeah.
And you can technically shampoo and blow dry your hair at home. I mean, that was just every day I turn the news on and I can hear stay home. I'm like, no, please don't say that.
So what is your next dream? I mean, I've heard a number of goals, you know, 50, 100 salons, but what's your next dream?
So I am right now in the process of doing fundraising for 30 stores, 30 to 50 stores. So I'm doing my business plan again, re-looking at it, talking to my investors about, you know, who we should bring in as a potential partner. I'm pitching VCs, so that's kind of my primary focus now, is to kind of get us to really speed up our expansion plan and big hiring as many people as we can, and keep pushing forward.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what year, which step do you have so far?
So we will I'm starting fundraising now. Hopefully we'll close everything March to June. It's just a long process to raise, you know, $20, $30 million. So it'll probably be, hopefully by the summer we'll have that. Then we will, in the meantime, we're hiring, training them. So when we start opening, we just ready, set, go. And we've already signed a lease for a couple potential new buildings. In 2 years. It's a long time, but these big developments, they kind of get you early. So we're doing all that kind of stuff too.
That's fabulous. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
It's very exciting.
Yeah. So what's your secret to always stay positive and smile?
Well, I'm a pretty positive person anyways. I like classes always half full for me, but really, you know, as I mentioned, there are those dark days, but you still have to go to the store. And it's my staff. When I walk in, Julia-san, or some way I'm very lucky, a client will be like, oh, I'm so grateful for Jetset. Yeah. And that immediately changes my attitude from this doom and gloom to, okay, I'm so glad I came here today, and I'm so happy we're doing this business. And I think, you know, no matter what, it's really important to communicate. Sometimes when you're dark days, you don't want to leave your house or you don't want to talk to anybody. Maybe going out and actually speaking to people kind of changes your... And I think it's the potential of our business that makes me really positive. You know, customers are coming in and they're happy, and I think we're doing something good. So, yeah.
So it's basically your work family that basically gives you...
I mean, I see them more than my husband. I'm going to change that.
Thanks, Cole. What is the 3 most important words for you to realize a dream or your dream?
Perseverance.
Definitely.
Confidence.
Yep.
I'm going to say fear.
Okay, that's a good point.
The reason why is, I think during this whole process, no matter how big of a company, I think having a little bit of fear that you're going to lose it all or something can change is quite important to keep you focused and not too relaxed. So I would say those 3.
I like it. Fear, you know, everyone trying to escape fear, but you actually take it as a strength.
Yes.
That's fantastic. Okay, so to basically close, as we arrive at the end of this interview, maybe close an important message that you have, though you've been saying a lot of important messages throughout the show, but for our viewers, which comes from overseas, and you know, a lot of them also want to come to Japan or miss Japan or simply want to discover also this country, but not just that, but also simply maybe attacking, maybe going against their fear, right? Yeah. Simply just kind of pushing through their goal, because more and more in life, a lot of people want to create their own businesses, whether it's small or bigger, you know. So which advice would you give our viewers on how to take the next step, or simply if they want to build something from scratch?
Well, as I mentioned many times, it's kind of getting over that first fear factor and believe in yourself, but also be realistic that it's not easy. And I didn't know when I started my first business, that Hero, that it was going to be all these obstacles. So be prepared that there are many challenges but you will get through it. It's just, you just got to keep working hard, ask for help, don't have so much high pride.
Good point.
And don't be afraid of competition. A lot of people were like, well, what if someone else comes? Well, for every Coke, there's a Pepsi. For every Kirin, there's Asahi. You know, so just really believe in yourself and try to overcome those hard days. And once you do, you'll feel so much better about yourself. Your confidence builds every time you kind of get through that one thing that you're like, there's no way. And then you do, and you feel stronger and you're happier.
Very, very, very important point. Well, thank you so much, Julia. Maybe at the end we can announce finally the question for having 3 winners winning a shampoo and blow dry set. So, people, what is the question?
Where did I open my first store?
Did you get that? Where did Julia open her first store? For those who listen to this interview, feel free to comment. Put your answer in the comment after subscribing to this channel. Let us know if you have any questions for Julia, any comments as well. and hope you stay tuned for the next episode as well. Click right here. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Julia.
It was fun.
It was so much fun discovering.
Everybody, good luck. You
Bye.
can do it.
You can do it. Bye.
Bye.